Once upon a time, humans had to hunt for food. They had to fight nature day and night just to see another sunrise. They had to build temporary shelters out of caves and trees and other ephemeral materials. Life was a constant battle against the outside world. And how do we know all of this? Because somehow, amidst all the dangers and challenges, humans still managed to find the time to create art. Historians and scientists look at all those carvings in the caves and try to decipher its meaning and language. And yes, it is necessary to understand the meaning to learn about our ancestral history. But isn't the art a language in and of itself that tells us more about human history than anything else ever will? The art that bleeds out of humans irrespective of their circumstances, irrespective of the moment in time they were born in. The same humans that looked at empty cave walls and saw blank canvases. The humans that looked at tiny shining dots scattered through the night sky and connected those dots to create stories and myths and legends. They didn't have paints or markers or carving knives or any assortments of arts and crafts material like we do, but they still found ways to bring their imagination to life. They couldn't even touch the stars, but that didn't stop them from drawing constellations. Despite having to fight for survival, they still made time to create pictures and stories and wonders out of their imagination. They needed to tell their stories. It didn't even matter whether they had an audience or not. All that mattered was bringing their vision to life. Thousands of years have passed since then, and aside from our basic need of food and shelter, humans have evolved in just about every conceivable way. Yet, the one thing that remains constant over the centuries, the one thing we have inherited from our far distant ancestors, is this need to express ourselves. It's so fascinating to me how naturally art comes to us. Leave a toddler to play by themselves in the mud, and they will inevitably start drawing shapes with their fingers. Ask a kid what they think the animals are talking about, and they'd come up with the most vivid and creative conversations. Who taught them that? No one. No one had to, because this art is embedded in our very nature. Ever since I was a kid, I have been obsessed with stories. From campfire tales to movies and books and everything in between. I would even look at photographs and paintings for hours and wonder. Just wonder what stories it could be telling. And then came the internet and brought with it so many stories to consume. Campfire tales turned to creepypastas, and Wattpad became books you could carry around easily. I wouldn't say any new medium replaced the older ones, because yes, creepypasta has its own charm, but so does sitting around on a cool winter's night while sharing creepy stories over some hot chocolate. Each new medium opens up new ways to enjoy these stories, but the art of storytelling remains the same. The need to express oneself in any way possible remains the same. As a kid, I really liked this movie called Dil Chahta Hai. If you haven't watched it and want to expand your horizon, I'd highly recommend it. There was a scene in this movie that had a huge impact on the way I perceive art to this day. One of the main leads in the movie was a painter. One day, he showed some of his paintings to his new neighbor. After observing his painting for a long moment, the first thing the neighbor says is, "This one also has the same thing." Confused, the guy asks, "What thing?" Instead of giving a straight answer, she says, "Today I've learned something new about you." From an outside perspective, you meet people, hang out with them, laugh and talk. But there is a world inside of you, your dreams, your ambitions, that you don't share with anyone. I feel like even the people who know you don't really know you. Even more confused now, the guy asks, "How can you say that?" The neighbor points at his painting as she goes, "The door is not open, no one can enter. The box has been tightly secured, no one can steal anything. And who knows what emotions are hiding behind these closed eyes. Every single one of your painting is hiding something, and maybe so are you." Now, from a grown-up perspective, this may not seem like a big deal. I mean, it's not exactly a groundbreaking news that art reflects the artist. But for a wide-eyed 7-year-old who was still in the process of falling in love with stories, this was an epiphany. The idea that a piece of art can be more than just what it represents on the face value was, indeed, groundbreaking for me. It opened up a whole new world of possibilities. which have shaped the person I am today. So, as soon as I got proper access to the internet, I spent most of my time looking up writers and directors of my favorite movies, and then consuming more of their works. By the age of 13, my entire mindset has shifted to watching movies based on the writers and directors rather than the actors. Now, don't get me wrong, I still had my celebrity crushes, and I'd watch their movies with the same wide eyes. But at the same time, I was looking deeper into these stories, dissecting them, trying to find underlying meanings that aren't apparent at first glance, questioning why the curtains were blue like an English literature professor. And not just movies, books, TV shows, the beats, the lyrics of a song, artwork, paintings. The world was just a big canvas that everyone seemed to be filling with their unique perspectives and talents. And that's what I intend to do on this channel, to consume art, read stories, watch movies, and find meaning in them, and maybe tell some of my own stories. So stay tuned as I ramble on about all the stories I enjoy, and maybe even some that I didn't enjoy but found interesting enough to talk about.